normal.
I was like, baby, you were like median age for the people that I date.
Oh no.
Like
Oh,
the
no.
first guy I dated out of my relationship was 25. So
Oh.
I was like, well, does it bother you that I'm older than you? And he's like, no. I mean, I know that might be weird, but I kind of like it. And I was like, it's not weird. I've talked to a lot of young men who like old. Like, it's not. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Yes. The average age of people that hit me up on the dating app is 27. And I'm like, is it because I've got a job? Is that what this is?
That's
You're
like
like-
financial. They sniff the financial stability.
They're like, she probably doesn't want to get pregnant, won't try to lock me into an actual relationship, has a job, will pay for things, and knows how to have sex. Score.
And has a young spirit.
Yeah.
I told the other two about this, but until you or Brad or Julian about this. But I've actually been having symptoms of lightheadedness, slight dizziness, and actually hesitating the doctors for about 2 weeks now. I'm having 2 GEDs, having an EKG. It's hard to see, but see those lines down there?
Yeah.
It's a little abnormal. So my doctor believes I might have a bit of an enlarged heart that's causing my lightheadedness. And tachycardia.
Interesting. What's the next step? What do you do now? Cardiologist or?
Pretty much. I was told they might run some tests, but the ultrasound has already been scheduled. That's on Thursday. Tomorrow is my chest X-ray.
Okay. So is that a heart murmur or what are you looking at?
Maybe. They did like. There's a new RN that was doing stethoscopes, all doing the physical and stuff. She made like a comment. I forget what the medical term was, but I can only think of is that it beats a little harder.
Okay.
But every time I also went by the medic, and when my heart rate was being monitored, they thought it might be tachycardic, because even at a resting rate, it would be a little high.
Tachycardic.
Tachycardic just means like your heart beats a little bit faster than normal.
Is the word you're looking for arrhythmia?
That's another word for it. Like on this, I just read this on GED, my heart rate, sitting heart rate was about 90 BPM. The range is, yeah. The max can go is 100.
Yeah. When I was having heart palpitations, I'd be like sitting down and my heart rate would be like 116, and my ass was like, this is not, I cannot. Doctor?
Yeah, it ain't normal.
Fix.
Please.
Yeah. Ugh. Does it make your chest hurt?
Yes, I get. The reason why I saw the doctor again is because when I went back to work, I'm like doing physical exertions. I started having a chest pain again. I know hyperventilation chest pains because it's like a sharp pain every time I take a deep breath. You can't breathe. But I experienced the sharp pain on a different side of the chest, and I noticed I was actually out of breath earlier than I should have been. Yeah.
Ooh, I hate all of this. All of it.
Yep. It wasn't so it was hard to breathe. It was more so I didn't feel like I was getting enough oxygen, if that makes sense.
All right, well, we'll add that to the key.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
updates will include health-related updates.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll update you all next week on the like major angel natural disaster that I get to have tomorrow.
Yay.
Yay.
It's a category 5 again.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, oh.
Oh, fuck. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Where my mom lives is supposed to get 8 to 12 feet of storm surge.
God damn.
God damn.
Yeah. The place she's staying is only 15 feet above sea level because her house is under a mandatory evacuation. So she's she went to her boyfriend's parents' house. Yeah, who are only like 10 years older than her because her boyfriend's 32. Yeah.
Not gonna-
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah, yeah. When I was dating that 25-year-old, it was Christmas time, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, the person I'm dating is 25. We're gonna go on a picnic when we get back." And she's like, "You're gonna take him to the playground?" And I was like, "Bitch."
Ah, damn.
I was like, "Bitch, your boyfriend's younger than both of your children."
Yeah, she's taking him to the playground.
Yeah, apparently. I was like, "Yeah, mom, I'm gonna push him on the slide." And she's like, "Oh, he's just a little guy." And I'm like, "Not where it counts."
Damn.
I
Yeah.
could never pull that kind of humor on my mother.
No, last Christmas I was dating a non-binary person who had a full beard and also wore skirts. And my mom was like, "So are they trans or like which?" And I was like, "Mom, are you trying to figure out if they have a penis?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, is that rude? And I'm like, "Kinda."
Oh, you know, I showed you guys my little like scarf shirt that I bought. I
Thing
wore
that-
it. I wore it to my birthday dinner with my parents, and then
A shirt underneath it.
I did. I did. I looked real. I looked demure. And the next day, I go to lunch with my parents, and I'm wearing like a button up, like a summery button up with the sleeves rolled up. And my dad leans over and he goes, "Dude, that shirt looks a lot better than the one you wore last night." I was like, "You, excuse you."
Oh,
That's a blow.
Wow.
Like,
yeah,
how
damn.
dare you, you homophobic man. Anyway.
Damn.
I totally
Okay.
see it. I totally saw it coming too.
Yeah, fair, fair. All right. So, what have happened last? Has this concluded our tea?
Yes.
Excellent. What happened last time?
What had happened last time? We talked a lot. Dreamed a lot. Shit happened.
Great. I'm really glad that we put Zach in charge of notes.
Yeah, because I can't fucking read my notes. Well, good luck with that. Oh, we ran into a crying man, and we were just like, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Moving on.
Nice
Yeah.
try. You're not trying.
Nice try. Just you point at the crying man. Nice try, Diddy. Keep going.
Literally, all we did
Damn.
was just sail, and then the cat was like, ambush. And we were like, okay, just sail past the ambush. And then we discovered a pool of dreams and emotions, and some of us fucked around and found out with it.
Trauma
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah, maybe
Trauma pool.
I've been questioning morality at that point.
And,
Yep.
and Sklep spied on a gnome.
Yeah. Sklep sent a drone into the where the area of the eye is, found a crater, and in the center of that crater was a gnome. Gnome.
Spooky gnome.
But gnome. Da, 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 da.
The gnome also appeared to Jesus, what was that, Bruce? Appeared to see the arcane eye.
And dispelled it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm rereading what you did to me.
I remember what happened.
Oh yeah, some of y'all have some real fun new personality traits.
Yep.
Well, that's what we'll call it.
Neat. Akwensu and Raheem have a heart-to-heart, which causes Raheem's passengers to freak out.
No, that didn't happen.
It's like, he knows.
Oh no, he knows.
There's a moment where Schlepp asks, are we the baddies?
Yeah, and the answer is maybe.
Maybe.
We already know. So.
It's up for
And
debate.
then I just have a paragraph of just undecipherable text, and then do robots dream of electric sheep?
Oh, that's right. 'Cause
Schlepp- had a dream, which also affected him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then that's where we ended the session. After that, because
It
I
is.
got another paragraph of indecipherable hieroglyphs. God fucking damn it.
Indecipherable too. Okay. So, it wasn't quite where we ended the session because, um, Schlepp had a funny little dream and ended up not making a choice, which had some consequences for him.
Oh yeah, I remember.
There are some consequences at play for a lot of people, actually. In fact.
Not me though. I'm just a good boy. I'm just a good puppy.
Yeah, what?
Just a little good puppy.
Yes, because Schlepp only had to pass a DC 15 charisma saving throw and rolled a 5. And just to remind you, has disadvantage on all ability checks for the next 8 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
He
So,
has self-doubt now.
welcome to the
Sklep
club.
has depression.
What has unlocked depression?
Yeah, yeah. New achievement unlocked.
Muted deck.
I said that's probably the most a human motion you can get.
Depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Depression, anxiety, and the urge to shit. The most human emotions.
Well, we're not at urge to shit yet.
No, not yet.
Oh,
We'll get there.
foreshadowing.
We'll get there.
You get the urge to shit and you don't have a digestive tract?
He just
Ooh.
sits down and batteries come out.
Oh.
So, if I recall, we ended the session still in the Magnificent Mansion. We have completed a long rest. And by the Magnificent Mansion, I mean Leoric's Dancing Dragon. What would you all like to do? It is morning. You've completed a long rest. As a reminder, when you are affected by the miasma of the swamp, regardless of whether or not you have rested in it or not, unless you are immune to the poisoned condition, you only gain half healing.
Hurt.
But if you all had slept in the swamp, you may have the poison condition, which would give you disadvantage, as well as half healing.
But that's why we've been sleeping in the mansion.
Yeah.
Or, as I like to call it, the trauma house.
Yeah, you've been glamping, really.
It's typically quite enjoyable. That's you yourself are
You know-
traumatized with it.
Yeah. And as you all gave me the keys to your trauma,
Bitch took a ride.
And she's using it.
exactly. Is there any? What would you like to do as you wake?
Breakfast.
Okay. You come out and you ask the bartender, who is a very sleep-deprived, half-orc guy. He's maybe 25 or 30. And you could tell that he has been on the night shift and he's just waiting for day shift to come in. He's wiping down the bar. He's like half asleep. One eye sort of like closed more than the other. He's got a very jaunty little mustache. He's like, was it
Oh dear.
breakfast?
Yes, I was hoping for some breakfast, but if you'd like to, I can make it. I'd rather be of assistance than just beat you through torture.
Well, no, is this against the health regulations? Beatrix does a breakfast. I don't do the breakfast. I
Oh.
can't cook. And then he just bellows for Beatrix in the back, and she's like, "What?
Any
Breakfast."
menus? Yes, breakfast.
She only knows how to make one thing.
Oh,
She make a full English. That's it. Egg, black pudding, toast,
books on me?
beans.
Things we have had.
How many?
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, about 4. I'm not sure if the robot eats.
Robots. Well, I mean, robots don't have assholes, so they probably don't eat. Unless, what kind of robot do you have? Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't. Um,
Right there,
and he,
humanoid, so I wasn't sure.
as he waves his hand, you get a whiff of some very dank herb off of this orc. Um, yes, in the grand tradition of people who work the night shift, he has been, you know,
Medicating.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, breakfast is had. Beatrix makes it. It is a very passable full English breakfast. The black pudding is pudding, whatever. The eggs are egging. There are beans. There is toast.
Right.
There are two kinds of pudding. There's black and white pudding.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
It's morning, but I don't think it's good.
Well, it is at least good until we leave here. And go back into here. What is our plan with the giant eyeball?
What is our plan, Schlep?
Schlep? Eyeball plan.
I imagine y'all are
LASIK.
like standing around or sitting at the table or bar or whatever furniture you're tending to your food at. And Sklep is kind of like on the other side of the room, kind of just hanging out, and he looks. I did not see any angels outright in the pit. I did not have an opportunity to get a close look at the eye itself either. There was a gnome with considerable arcane prowess. I
What kind of
understand that
arcane prowess?
Empyreans can take different forms. I don't know if the eye is a herring. What's odd is that this gnome was not infernal by any sign. It was a standard gnome. When we go down, I expect to run into the gnome.
Sounds like we don't necessarily have a plan. There's not enough information to go on about it, and the objective is still go visit the eye.
You know, Clyde, you've been with our group for long enough. Do we look like people that have a plan?
We know
It helps me to know that we have a plan, at least.
we know what information we're ultimately trying to get from the eye. Information about Tyax and the deal that they have. Any other information outside of that would be an unexpected benefit. The question is how do we frame a conversation in a way that an elite celestial would be cordial to?
I imagine you just say hello. Maybe offer them a drink.
Master Rahim,
Yes.
were you trained in any such way of how to communicate with celestials?
Funny enough, I don't speak Celestial, so I not be really good if they start speaking Celestial.
I could be of assistance and be a translator for everyone.
Wanda makes a very long diatribe in Celestial as you talk about how you don't speak Celestial.
Yep.
Well,
Don't speak it. Don't
my
recognize the
question
language.
was not
She's not saying very nice things.
I too can speak Celestial, but I don't think that that's an issue because Empyreans and High Celestials can speak any language. I suppose you could appeal to them by speaking Celestial, but that's not the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is, decorum-wise, are you are you trained to pray and communicate with those of the holy persuasion?
As long as I speak a language that's understandable, I believe so. I can.
I only ask Master Rahim because Master Rahim has been a part of the church a very long time.
So you believe he's more inclined with gods than any of us? Understandable.
I mean, he's a paladin.
I look at the tentacle arms. Right.
Those are new developments.
Yes, that is. This is all new. How long have we been in hell?
I don't know, a couple weeks.
I was programmed with knowledge on Mount Celestia and its inhabitants, as well as historical records of religion and history, and how to speak Celestial, but I'm not always the best at tailoring communication to best suit the interests of the opposite party.
Well, I have a question. What is Tyax's relationship with this Imperium? What if they were involved?
Okay.
Like, and we just ask Tyax's ex about information on Tyax.
And then he texts Jax like, yo, these like weirdos just showed up in the middle of my swamp and were asking shit about it. They wanted the tea on you just to give you a heads up.
We can try to gauge the relationship between, Tyx and this Imperium. Maybe go from there if we get a good sense of how they might respond.
The ultimate goal is to figure out who owes the favor, because we've heard two different narratives.
Mm-hmm.
One that Tyax owes the Eye a favor, and that the Eye owes Tyax a favor. That's the first question. The second question is, what is that favor? And the third question is why the favor is owed. And if we can... Here's the biggest question of them all. Question number 4. What is Tyax's motive in helping us?
Money.
We don't know
Paid
that.
him.
I'm not
You
convinced
haven't
that...
paid anybody shit.
I am not convinced that that is the case.
Because I think we've asked him. Have we asked him why he's helping us? No, we haven't. But we get a sense he probably wouldn't tell us if we did ask, though, right?
Correct.
Then yeah, so that's a fair point.
All right.
Yeah, let's figure out the relationship, and then we can start probing in a little bit deeper to try to get some answers.
All right. In a worst case scenario, is there some sort of a code or a sign that someone can use that would suggest to me that I should teleport us all away? Like a safe word or...
Have you ever heard of the game Jenga?
No, I have not.
Well, it's like a bunch of just pieces of wood that you stack on top of each other, and then you have to take the pieces of wood. Anyway, maybe our safe word should be Jenga.
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 Rutabaga?
All right. Everyone okay with using the word Jenga?
I'm okay
Sure.
with that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
What is a Jenga?
Apparently, it's a game from what is it called? Texas.
It's the Dead South now.
Texarkana.
Yes.
Texarkana.
Texarkana.
The Badlands. Very well.
All right. So if somebody says Jenga, I will use the scatter ability to teleport us all away.
Do you get to choose where we go with that, or do we get to choose where we go with that?
Yeah, I was about to ask. By the spell's name, it sounds like we literally scat.
No, you teleport each affected target to an unoccupied space that you can see within 120 feet of you. So I get to choose.
Oh, okay.
Right in a geyser.
Right into it.
Just do bear in mind as we go in, your enchanted items with your healing spells and infused in. Here are some potions. I'm going to hand out some potions. Clyde, you get a potion of resilience, which will increase your AC by 2 for 10 minutes.
Thank you.
And also, all these potions give you a 2d8 plus 4 temp HP when you take them.
Did you just say 2d8 plus 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And technically speaking, that would not be halved because it's not magical healing. It is temporary HP. So you get the full effect of that.
Not bad.
And then, Sharp Eye. You're not here, but I'm giving you an Alchemist Potion of Swiftness, which will increase your walking speed by 10. Rahim, you're getting a Potion of Boldness, which will give you the Bless effect for 1 minute.
Is temp HP affected by my little fork? Or no?
No, because it's not healing technically.
Okay.
So like somebody could give you temp HP while you were down and it wouldn't bring you back up. So I would consider that not a healing effect.
Okay, cool.
Iquensu, you're getting
So-
a Potion of Boldness, which will give you the Bless effect for 1 minute.
I cannot find the potion of resilience for some reason.
And I'm giving you an Alchemist Potion of Healing,
Excellent.
which is different from a regular health potion. Actually, no, it's the same. 2d4 plus int, which is plus 4. So it turns out to be the same.
And both of those things will give me the temporary hit points as well.
Yeah, they don't stack, but you get them.
I think that so if you're, in my opinion, if you're getting temporary HP from different sources, they would stack, but not from like the same like the potion, like the alchemist potion, that wouldn't stack. Because I think it's dumb if, say, like you were a warlock and you got temp HP from killing something, but then you also got temp HP from somebody casting, giving you an alchemist potion, right? I think that just nerfs a class feature if you don't get to stack your temp HP in that way.
Yeah, fuck you, devs.
Yeah. Listen.
I'm listening.
I get to be God here.
And the alchemist potion of
Zach,
healing is
you are
what
very
again?
muted. You are very muted.
Who, me?
It's on Discord
Yes.
muted.
Yeah, Discord muted.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Zach.
in the 2024 handbook, temp HP does stack, but it has an upper limit of 30.
Oh.
This is completely unrelated, but this kitten is falling asleep back here.
Zach, you
He's-
got
he's
your
Yeah.
speed potion, right?
Speed potion, yeah.
It's not a potion of speed. This just literally increases your movement. Please keep that in mind.
I should specify. It's the long strider effect.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
You
both.
have a potion of speed. These are two different things, though.
Gotta go faster, cause both.
Ooh, if you drink 2 potions at once, I'm making you roll on the wild magic table.
I totally was not thinking about that right now because I have 2 potions, I hope.
Oh god, ow.
Are there any means of preparation we would like to consider, other than contingency and these potions?
How long does this last?
You're also offered breakfast beer. You've been here long enough that they start offering you breakfast beer.
I just say not particularly, just in general, just one thing we could do to prepare is not immediately try to, like, I don't know, assassinate this person. Maybe if they have cool stuff, we just let it go this time.
Safety on those guns, Joppa.
My guns don't have a fucking safety. What the fuck's a safety?
All right, okay. I'll say so. Jenga is the word if you want me to use scatter to get us away. But what if we want to jump somebody? If I were to use scatter to surround an enemy, what is the word for that?
Jump them.
No.
Jump.
Oral cum shot.
Actually, let's go with Schlepp's idea. That's funny.
Wait, no, I didn't.
I only have
Like-
one thing left to say to you, Mr. Angel. Oral cum shot, and then we
You'll
all.
be very confused.
Yes.
All right, well, I have
I would-
we're not going with that. The
Yeah.
other,
This is a celestial. Hopefully, we shouldn't have to fight it. I would
Oh,
hope.
by the
It's a
way,
celestial that's been in hell a long time, though.
I don't believe I have to mention this vocally, but Master Rahim has the ability to sense divine entities.
Mhm.
Once we get into the Grinken Eyes pit, given the landmarks, we should be able to scope out who the angel is if we get near or close enough to it.
Just so you know, the last celestial I met in hell was Zarya.
He's terrifying.
She is absolutely terrifying.
My records indicate there's a 25% chance that this Empyrean is not of the good alignment.
25%'s not bad. I guess.
25% is a little low.
However, those are my material plane records.
Hmm.
Statistics may be skewed in other planes.
I would just like everyone, except for Aquinsu, to roll me an intelligence check.
General
Just flat
intelligence?
int. Yeah, just flat int.
Flat it.
23.
7.
13.
Great.
Like an
Great.
idiot.
Fantastic. Schlep, you're like going through this and you're like realized you asked Raheem, who is an Oathbreaker paladin, about communicating with Celestials. And you didn't ask Aquinsu, who is of Celestial origin, about it.
I believe I did in the last session, and Iquensu was like... It's like, Iquensu could be our celestial ambassador. Well,
Was I drunk last session?
it was... We swept past that conversation real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess with a 23... Also, we can't forget our secondary plan. Iquensu, would you like to serve as celestial ambassador as a Asimar?
well, assuming that they are friendly in the ways that people with common blood seem to be, perhaps we are close cousins after all.
You said you saw a gnome in the crater where the eye was?
Yes.
I got 15 gold that says the gnome's the fucking Empyrean.
Would
Only
anybody
one
like
way
to
to
take
find
that?
out. See, I was originally thinking that I could just go by myself and try to figure the thing out. But that seems far more dangerous than all of us going together.
Iquensu, you wouldn't happen to have the divination spell, would you?
Actually, I am not a divination wizard, so no, I just summon things mostly.
It was worth asking.
He's got friends.
Well, shall we
Sometimes you're my friends.
get to trekking?
Might as well.
I'm ready.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. So as you leave Leoric's Dancing Dragon and thus the Magnificent Mansion, you are rudely thrust back out into the thick, almost taffy-like air of the endless swamp. And you once again see shining behind you the very still mirror-like surface of the dreaming pool. You see the ruins that you had intended maybe to bed down on before wiser heads amongst you prevailed and suggested that you might take your rest someplace safer. You see the ugly guppy, the raft that Schlepp has fabricated for you all, and across a small spit of water, deep water, that you've been using to navigate to this point in the endless swamp. This stretch of water is, I would say, probably about 25 feet from the very edge of solid land to the other side of what appears to be solidish land. So bank to bank, about 25 feet. You see the terrain that Schlepp had described to you all. Did you describe to you described to them what you saw with the arcane eye?
Yeah, giant crater.
Yeah, and the fingers of stone shot up from the crater, where something very large hit the ground. Between the bank and these teeth of stone that line the crater, you see the occasional gust and burst of geysers betwixt them. And someone can make me a survival check if you'd like to estimate how long it would take you to get there, based on how long it took the arcane eye to get there and your ability to traverse. Yeah, Sharpa, you don't know.
It's gonna take us like 3 days to get there.
Yeah, you actually come out and you're like sort of enamored of this water again, and then you cough and a little bit of like fresh rose petal comes out and you're like, oh. Clyde, yeah, you'd estimate that if you don't run into any impositions between you and there, it's probably a 3 or 4 hour journey, just because the terrain is very swampy and it won't likely be a direct route unless you can fly. So you'll have to avoid the natural obstacles in order to make it there safely.
Well, as long as we don't have any rude interruptions, it should take us roughly 4 hours at max to get there.
Shall we stealth?
We can try.
A bit longer if we stealth.
Well, yeah, it's gonna take longer.
Yes, it would.
Should we? Do we really need to?
I don't think we do.
Yeah, might be a waste.
And you will have to take the ugly guppy to traverse. The water here is much too deep for you to wade across, so you will have to take the ugly guppy the 25 feet to the other bank.
The guppy.
Yeah. Which is easy enough to do. You can find a place to ground the ugly guppy. Assuming that is what you do, as you pull up to the other side of the bank, do you do anything to moor the ugly guppy on solidish ground?
Of course. I think, didn't you like connect a rope to it or anything?
I mean,
Did you
could.
connect?
Let me see here. I'm sure I've got rope in this bitch.
Either way, I'm just
Because
like,
we could tie it to like a root or a tree or something.
yeah, we would always
yeah.
moor your boats, because if
Yeah,
you
I
don't,
got-
they'll float away.
I got 50 feet of rope. Also, I have Telecarna's head.
You do. Yeah. Yes. You took her head as perhaps a warning to other people.
Just a flex.
Or maybe you want to use it. You roll up to Kotam and I'm like, hey, I got a new figurehead.
Ooh, that would be such a flex. Oh, that's juicy. Okay.
Yeah. So you can find one of the like sort of cypress knee-esque roots that stick up here, tied off pretty easily. Um, and you begin your slog once more through the swamp. The mud clings and sticks to your boots, and it reeks of not just rotted vegetation, but as you suck your boot out of the water and step back in, sound effects, you're welcome. You catch the edge of rotting meat as well as rotting vegetation. It is very like butcher shop dumpster in July in here. And the air is thick and humid and leaves this disgusting film on every bit of exposed skin. And the water is just like 1 degree colder than body temperature, which means that it is constantly uncomfortable. Like, just the worst. We're all going to do a group check to see how well we fare in these inhospitable conditions. You may make a survival check or athletics to either avoid the obstacles, or if you can describe to me how you would acrobatically avoid these obstacles, you may do acrobatics. So avoid them using survival, or just like power through them using athletics.
Gotcha.
And by obstacles, you mean the gross ground.
Yes, I mean roots and unseen like sinkholes, geysers, these
Gators.
nasty little gator. Yes, there are infernal gators now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach. Infernal gators.
No problem.
All right, survival check it is.
30-20.
Great.
I went from a 19 to a 3.
Oof.
Oof.
Ooh. Okay. Sharp Eye, everybody except for Quinsu does a great job
I rolled a 5.
avoiding obstacle. The first one you rolled was a 16.
Yes, however, I have a curse.
Oh, you are. Yes, you're correct. Sorry, I was confused by the fact that you rolled twice instead of just like once with disadvantage. Yes, you rolled a 5. So Equinsu and Schlepp both have similar issues traversing.
I'm a heavy piece of robot. Quincy's a skinny
Yeah.
noodle.
Yeah. So Schlepp, you are just like brute forcing your way through this. You're like, yes, I'm very heavy. Perhaps I should try and like hop from something that looks solid to something that looks solid. Right, and almost hopscotch my way through this, because if I hit a piece of ground that's too soft, I'll be too heavy and I'll get stuck. And you've logicked this out, and you misjudge, like you're about 45 minutes into this trek, and you misjudge your jump, and just like slop directly into some mud and go up to about the knee.
This won't happen.
Yeah, and you both knees in muck. And as it almost bubbles around your body, like these pustules of yellow ooze up and bleh, over the edge, and then slide back down into the muck. You feel very stuck. How will you all attempt to help your friend who is stuck in the mud?
What's the hold up?
I believe someone put the foot a little too deep in the muck.
Oh, God. Slap. Why are you so heavy?
I am Master Rahum's pack mule.
Nope, nope. I was like getting ready to reach out my hand.
I mean,
Master
Raheem,
unfortunately the strongest out of us to pull you out.
you might be the one pulling him out.
Can I
That's
get
the
to a
thing.
spot where, like I could stand on something solid and like reach and pull him out?
Yeah, he missed by like a tragic inch or two from what looks like a submerged boulder. Like he had done the calculations and it was just like he slipped on some algae from one rock to the next and missed. So yeah, there's a substantial boulder, only partially submerged close to him.
Okay. I will stand and reach out a hand, pull him out.
Okay. Let's do athletics.
Sure.
Schlep, how much do you weigh?
Oh, approximately 500-ish pounds.
Great. Cool. So that means, honestly, I was like, I bet he weighs about 500 pounds. The DC is 25. So you succeed. You brace yourself because you're aware of how robot thick Schlep is. You brace yourself. You get the deep bend in the knees. You just like really like just like snatch him out of the mud and pull him up. It's a lot of like fast twitch muscle. You feel like maybe something pops in your back a little bit, but you get him out and there's no lasting damage to either of you.
Alright.
Oh. Most impressive, Master. You always were so big and strong.
Just say thank you and let's move on.
There are a couple of yellow globules kind of stuck in your knee joints.
Yummy.
Does anybody have the cantrip prestidigitation?
Of course I do.
That's why he looks so handsome all the time.
Constantly using it.
Like,
Every
there's
couple of
no-
feet.
There's no BO here.
It's fucking gross in here.
It is exceptionally gross.
I assist my friends before whatever tragedy befalls me for my poor survival check.
Yes. Yes. For comedic effect, we will do them staggered. Yeah, you prestidigitate these yellow globules off, and as they succumb to I imagine prestidigitation is sort of like magic
Transmutation?
Mr. Bubbles. Yeah, it's just like, just there. These little yellow globules dissolve and pop. And just for a brief moment, the more observant of you, let's say if your passive perception is above an 18, you see what look like larvae sort of out into the air and then are consumed by the spell.
Ugh.
Indeed.
Yeah, gross. But you all travel on for another half an hour or so, and you've made it to a section of your traverse that is mostly dry land, actually. You've come out of the sucking mud into a knotted path of these sort of cedar knees and mangrove roots. But you're able to get through most of them. And what's your marching order? Like, are you sort of fanned out? Are you doing a single file? Are you doing two abreast?
Probably single file.
I'm walking
Okay.
beside Clyde.
Okay. And I'd imagine, Clyde, you're probably close to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So you're probably not like the in the front Aquensu, but you have rightfully established that Clyde is probably the best at tracking survival kind of thing, and you're like, yeah, I'll hang out with him. He also is the best dressed, so there's that.
I occasionally prestidigitate him.
Yes,
Oh, thank God.
There-
Yes, thank you.
yes. Your livery, starched, clean, and you feel like yourself for about 5 minutes until the oppressive swamp air returns you to your wilted and rumpled state.
Rumpled.
Every now and again, just that dog smile, the dog's there, and everything like to see their owner like. It's
Yeah.
Clyde every time he casts prestidigitation.
You're like, thanks. And also, it's good for everyone else as well because it gets rid of that wet. Excuse me.
Thank you.
That wet dog smell. I've been told my sneeze is an F sharp, in case you're curious. Musicians. So, you're making your way through this tangle of roots, and Aquinsu, yeah, making your way. Aquinsu, you're like, ooh, Clyde's looking a little wilted. I'm gonna spruce up that pocket square a little bit, just, starch it up. And you're distracted by your efforts at keeping up appearances, and your foot gets wedged in between some mangrove-esque roots. Your foot gets wedged, and you twist, and you go down. So I would like for you to make me a con save.
Right.
Con save.
Yeah.
Well, I only did slightly worse than the first roll.
Oof. Ouch. So.
My attention to detail has cost me.
Yes, you're paying too much attention to appearance and not enough attention to your feet, and it has cost you a twisted ankle. Your movement is reduced by 5 feet.
Shucks.
So it's maybe a sprained ankle. It's not super twisted. You rolled it a little bit. You managed to get yourself out, but until you're able to take some time and do a short rest, your movement is reduced by 5 feet.
Bullshit.
Yes. As you continue on and you are not stealthing, correct? You are just blundering through. Fantastic. Cool. Somebody roll me a D100.
Oh no! All right.
Just blundering through.
It's either stealth or blunder. It's not. There's no in between.
No.
between,
It's a swamp.
That's true.
Fair.
I'm gonna go get a protein shake.
Get out of my swamp.
Yes. There's an outhouse. There's a green guy. There's a donkey.
Not the donkey.
Yeah. Who's rolling this D100?
Yes, I will.
Great. Excellent. Be the arbiter of fate.
19. Okay, I was like almost a 91. I was like, oh.
Cool. Nothing happens. You continue blundering through the swamp.
So, since I'm of the doctoring persuasion, if I notice that Quincy twisted his ankle, is there what Sklep would do, given the time constraint that we have in the environment? He would just do a medicine check and then apply some reagent ointment, which is his lesser restoration, if it does anything.
Yeah, for sure. You have medical training. You'd be able to spot that he twisted his ankle, so you could splint it up, do a little lesser restoration, and it would alleviate the issue. Are you going to use lesser restoration, or do you just want to do a medicine check?
It is lesser restoration, but it doesn't cost a spell slot.
Okay, that's great. That's fine. If you were just going to do a medicine check, I would give you the opportunity. I'd have you do the check, and then you could splint it by non-magical means. But if you're going to use the lesser restoration, that's your class dealio. Go for it.
Yeah, magic is just faster and more comfortable for the patient.
Absolutely.
Patient
It's
experience.
also as
matters.
usual.
Yes, with your bedside manner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Master Quincy, here, put your foot up on my knee, and he just like takes out
All right.
this like emollient and just starts splashing it and massages your ankle, and then you watch it
smells
like
like
soak
Bad
in.
It's
Just think of the scene in Fallout where he pours the potion on the foot or whatever.
oh yes,
There you
yes, excellent.
Not bad.
And
Thank you so
and
much.
you are back to your normally movement speed
Oh, thank
because-
goodness.
because you have a medic robot.
But also, unfortunately, you're a ghoul now.
Wait, what?
Yeah. All of your excuse me, my cat is biting. Stop it.
Cat's being catty.
Yeah. These fuckers have lived together for like 8 years. I don't know.
They're fighting over their kid now.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That's it. He's gonna go mediate, apparently. Yes. So your facial hair starts to fall out and your skin gets really rough. No, I'm kidding. Nothing happens except that your ankle doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh, thank goodness.
Are you drinking milk?
Protein shake.
Protein shake.
Oh.
I think I
About this
can-
much less weird.
There is milk in it.
Whey protein isolate.
Oh. Mixed with water?
Yeah. It's not about taste. You just gotta get it in, all right? Protein's not gonna consume
That's what
itself.
she said.
It's like in the same page as she said.
Oh, that's true.
That is true, man. That is true.
Mhm.
Okay. So you are about 2.5 hours into this trek, and you can start to see the teeth of stone that are jutting out from the sides of this crater. And they are large and rough pieces of black stone. But you're close enough now that you can see in amongst this black stone these almost glowing, pulsing points of orange light. And they seem to all go in unison, almost like a heartbeat.
Hmm. I didn't notice that with the arcane eye before, did I?
You did not. I mean, you noticed that there was an orange. There's an orange glow and sort of orange tendrils in this area, but not anything moving.
Like the
or
pulsation
a
or
No.
whatever.
no.
Are we roughly at the spot where Slep saw the gnome? You got his eye dispelled, or are we still a little bit far off?
You're still a little bit. You are, I would say, another 20 minutes from where like the edge of the crater starts. And the gnome was not at the direct center, but he was on the way to the center.
Okay.
So I think 3/4 of the way down the side of the crater,
Okay.
towards the center. So not all the way at the middle, where the eyeball is depicted on the map.
Okay. When we get to, I guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, because the arcane eye did not get close enough to the middle. Schlepp does not know if there is a big eyeball in the middle of this, because the gnome dispelled it. But you did notice a glow coming from the center of the crater. So, Raheem, question.
I guess when we get to the official edge, I will do divine sense, specifically like trying to look for Celeste.
Okay, yeah. You get to the edge, and this crater is massive. This is an extinction level event crater. And as you trigger divine sense, which has a range of 60 feet.
That is correct.
Okay. You do not sense anything other than the faint whiff of celestial from Equinsu's Asimar heritage. And then the little bits of demony stuff, and your tenants. And also, do you have Empress with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's about the biggest infernal infernal creature within that space.
Nice.
Yes. Everything else is like pest-sized.
Okay.
Um, and it stays up for 10 minutes if I'm.
It's really just like a quick 6
It's
seconds.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a one round kind of deal, like a bloop. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little sonar thing. Just I detect
Okay.
something.
Okay, great. So you bloop out. You're not close enough. If there is something of a celestial nature in this crater, you're not close enough to tell.
Okay.
The crater is about a mile across.
Okay.
So we are surrounded by these blinking things.
You're not surrounded by them. They edge the crater. So
Mhm.
unless you are outside of these large, they're fang shaped, or more like claws maybe, or
Mhm.
the maw of some giant carnivorous fish.
Well,
Um,
as we approach them, at some point, I would like to get some sort of an observation of them, if I could.
Absolutely. You can. What are you trying to determine about them? Are you trying to determine, are they of arcane nature, natural? What are you trying to figure out?
Yes, I'm trying to discover the magic resonance of this phenomenon.
Okay. Make me an Arcana check, please.
Does this feel infernal or celestial?
Wow, the first roll was a 4, the second was a 3, this is a 2, so just getting better.
Yeah.
know.
We'll hit that natural one and then it'll reset.
Yay! Next time.
No, it won't.
No. No.
Understand.
But also, I win a bet if the next roll he does is a natural one. I don't know what I win, but
You get inspiration.
DM gets inspiration. He gets to reroll any of the monsters.
We should
ooh,
not
I
give
like
the
that.
DM inspiration.
I like that.
Well,
Um,
too late.
Yeah, too late. Now I've got it. Honestly, you all give me inspiration all the time.
Oh.
Oh.
So you're like, the fuck is this? And you are, with a 12, able to ascertain that this is not the result of like some sort of direct enchantment. This isn't a spell that has been purposefully placed. It feels more organic in origin than like an enchantment or some sort of etching that's put this blinking here. It feels much more organic, but that's all you're able to tell.
Strange.
It's possible it could be some sort of like natural magic, right? Like an inherent kind of magic,
Mhm.
or it could just be like bioluminescent fungi.
Sure. By the way, I've never seen anything like it.
And as you get closer, you can see that these bits of orange pulse that are happening within the rock, they appear to be a growth on the rock. They are not part of the actual rock. It's not like quartz, like in the side of a cave wall or something like that. This is much more like fungi or moss that's grown on the side of these claw-like stones. And how close are we getting? Not to put all of this on a Quinsu. Everyone, are you investigating these orange glowy bits?
I certainly would.
Yeah. How close do you get to investigate them?
As I draw close, is there any movement to them other than the pulsation?
Perception check.
14.
Nope.
Yep.
No,
okay.
they don't
I'd
appear
go.
to be moving.
I'd go quite close up to it and get a thorough examination.
It's slimy.
Hmm.
It's slimy. The closest thing you can think of is like when someone has when a humanoid has badly neglected their tooth care, and it's almost like uh plaque deposits.
Oh.
You're the person who's worked in the dentist's office. Gross.
Like necrosis, perhaps.
With that roll, you don't. It doesn't appear that the rock itself is decaying, but the growth, the sort of plaque on there, is certainly not healthy. This is not just like this is not like you happened upon a fallen tree and it's got a bunch of happy little mushrooms on it. The
sickly.
growth, yeah, the growth feels diseased in some way, but it doesn't appear to be negatively impacting the rock. But it is certainly gives you big disease vibes.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't really narrow it down. I mean, this entire area gives me big disease vibes.
This appears to be entirely foreign compared to the things that you have seen thus far. You've seen these sort of jutting bits of rock throughout the ineffable trove, and none of them, until you got to this point, had these orange bits of growth on it. And for all that it is an infernal swamp and absolutely fucking disgusting, the wildlife and the flora and fauna in this area seem to follow a fairly consistent rule, right? It's brown, it's green, it's slimy, it's fishy. And this is something else.
There is
And
something ailing the environment here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, shall we continue to the crater, or are we going to look for the little gnome that's perhaps around here?
I'd rather us approach the gnome than the gnome have the ability to choose how he engages us. Although we are on his home turf.
We're gonna meet this guy like he's.
I guess, shall we head to where you last saw him with the scrying eye?
That's true. I did arcane eye his camp location if it's still there. Can we see it? Is this like an open vision situation?
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely can look down into the crater. Give me 1 second and I will give you a visual. That is not there we go. That's the page that I need. Thanks. Do. Nope, she's dead. So I need to clear out my
He doesn't exist.
my PC folder here.
Hey, you guys want to see something gross?
Yes.
Oh no, teeth.
No, it's not teeth.
Damn.
It's actually a monster.
I undamn that. Yes, give
What in
give
the
monster.
Star Wars?
Where monster?
Where monster is in art of Chains of Asmodeus.
Oh, there. Why so many titties? I hate
That is
it.
a lot of titty.
Looks like that's
I-
from Dragon Age.
It does. It does.
Brood Mother, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely does.
The Echidna Preceptress. Oh.
Gross.
What?
Absolutely gross.
Either way, discuss it.
Also, I pre-ordered the new Dragon Age game, and I'm very excited about it.
Look good.
And two. It's about time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so do y'all see a big ole hole?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And it is our
Fantastic.
goal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in this case, the goal is a specific hole, not any hole.
Mm-hmm.
This is not to scale, but it is the best crater that I could find for free. So,
Fair enough.
use your imaginations. So yes, you can, if you want to approach the edge, you'll have to sort of, the teeth around the edges aren't like so close together that it would impede your movement forward. And you could just look down into the crater. And you do, did I put you on the correct? Okay, good. You do see a little camp exactly as Schlepp described it to you. A lean-to, so not a tent, something that's much more permanent. A little fire pit with no fire in it. Some logs that have been pulled from someplace to make makeshift seating. And a little blonde-haired gnome with a set of bagpipes.
Still there.
And he appears to be fiddling with the leather sack in the middle of the bagpipes. He's got sort of thick mutton chops. His outfit was once quite gay in color, but it's dictionary gay, not queer gay. And but it is darkened with sweat and swamp. The knees of his breeches have been torn out. He's wearing worn little boots.
Do not underestimate him.
Yeah, he's I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 feet like down. And the angle of the crater walls is quite steep. So if you were to go as the crow flies, it would be 20 feet. But you have to sort of go down and swoop. And it's a little steep.
Should I go down and say hello?
I could join you.
Let's make sure he's our guy. And I'll do divine sense. Try to get a ping off of him.
As you do it, as you do divine sense, the feeling that you get can only be likened to having getting a nose full of smelling salts. It just hits your senses like a punch.
Oh.
This is a massively powerful sense of a celestial being coming from that direction. Much larger. It feels much larger than this little gnome.
Oh. Okay. So the
Is he
gnome's
wearing
our
a
guy.
full belt?
Yes, he's wearing a very fancy belt. No. He's not wearing a belt at all.
Mm.
A toe? Who is the toe?
At Progressive, we don't believe in a
As he's sitting there and you do the divine sense and you're like, oof. It almost makes you feel like you need to sneeze. And all of the little dudes in all your little parasites, are freaking out. They are freaking out. They're like, I don't think we should go in there. We should definitely not go in there. We should definitely not go in there. And then Wanda is just in the background saying whatever.
Not helpful, Wanda. Not helpful.
Oh, he was singing, fuck this shit, we're out.
Yeah.
Fuck this
Yeah.
shit, we're out.
Yeah. Wanda's like,
Not helpful. Not helpful.
yeah, it's like listening to Stems talk a little bit.
Uh,
Yeah, you're getting canon. Celestial sounds like Simlish. but they are freaking the fuck out.
It appears that we may reach our destination.
You know what? You guys go down there. I'm gonna provide cover from up here.
Very well.
Sorry, I dropped my bag of chips.
Okay.
Quinsu, I
Yes.
know we have to be within range of you to use your contingency spell.
Correct. Well, I would have to. I can only use the contingency spell on myself to get myself out of dodge. I would have to actually cast.
Oh, I mean the scatter spell,
Scatter.
yeah.
Correct. And you have to be within 30 feet of me. So that's the case.
You also have to not instantly die the moment combat breaks out.
That's true. But it is only a verbal component, so if I prepare it before we go inside. Alright, I will then prepare the spell scatter. In case we are targeted by something that will kill us.
Okay.
With something of lethal intent.
Something of lethal intent. Okay.
Master Rahim, do you feel
Cause
comfortable speaking to the gnome?
I will let you know. The gnome, by the way, is not the guy we're looking for, but it's close by. But I guess I can.
Did we understand that right, Jen?
It is, the feeling you get is much larger than the gnome. It is centered in that general area.
In the general
Oh,
area.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
But it is a much larger presence than this gnome.
Yeah.
But it is in that area. Like,
Where he's sitting.
Yes.
It's the
Right.
bagpipes.
Yes, it's the bagpipes, obviously. Spatially, the celestial presence you feel is probably the same size as his entire camp. But it seems like it encompasses his
Centered
entire
on
camp.
him.
Yes.
Okay. Then I guess I'll clarify that.
But it's not just like a little gnome-sized sprig of celestial energy. It's like a whole damn bottle of bleach poured out of celestial energy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I imagine it smells just as astringent to you, given your complicated relationship with the divine.
Shall we?
Yeah, we'll approach.
Before we
Okay.
go down, I'm gonna cast Enhance ability for Charisma on Rahim.
Ooh.
Enhance ability.
And that is me. I have to read it.
It's called Eagle's Splendor. You have advantage on all charisma-based skill checks,
Okay.
whether it's persuasion or.
I would hope I would just need to use persuasion.
I'm gonna lean over to Clyde and go, Master Rahim can sometimes be a terrible judge of character. Would you mind keeping an eye on the gnome's gestures to ensure that what he's saying can be taken in truth?
I'm a terrible judge of character.
Very well. That I will do.
I mean, you hang out with us.
That's more like.
Shut up.
Never.
Doesn't seem pertinent.
I mean, okay. Let me get my stat block. So as you make your way down, as you pick your way down the steep sides of this crater towards the little camp, you hear. The first thing you hear is this labored wheeze of the bagpipes that he's working on. It's like an inhale, and then like a out. It sounds much more like the death rattle of some sort of humanoid than it does any set of bagpipes
Death was
you've
a
ever
bagpipe.
heard. Yeah, so it sounds like bagpipes. Yes. And Schlep, I'd like you to make me a wisdom. Just do a general wisdom.
Oh God. Just general wisdom.
Just general wisdom.
Is
this
that a
is,
disadvantage or not?
It would not be, because I'm not asking you to do an ability check.
It's a
Doesn't
4.
matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't notice. You don't notice shit. You don't know. You're like halfling, or you're like gnome. Okay, great. Musical instrument. Perfect. Little camp. Dude. This is it. And he looks up from these diseased bagpipes as you approach. A little, beatified smile on his mouth.
Greetings.
Hail and well met, strangers.
Hello. See, you're working on an instrument there, or here you're working on an instrument there.
Aye, there's something not quite right caught in the bellows of this thing, and I've been trying to knock it loose for quite a bit. Are you a fellow musician?
Do I play any? Do I play any instruments? No, I do not. I would like to learn how to play, but I'm just in my current state of condition. I don't feel like I would be good at it.
Ah, well, I think you're rather selling yourself short. One doesn't necessarily need sight to feel music in their soul, but I think that you've probably, by this idea, you've probably spent your time studying the sword rather than any sort of art.
That is accurate. That is accurate.
Do you find it easier to create than it is to destroy, or the other way around?
Recently, I would say it's been a lot easier to just destroy than to create.
The case in this place. I try to create something good, friendships, perhaps a bit of music. It's much more difficult than you'd think. Destruction's easier.
I feel in a place like this, yeah. No matter how much good you want to try to do, this place will just naturally, instinctively try to keep you down.
Yeah. It's about... He sort of knocks himself in the middle of his bony chest. It's about what's in here, the sort of strength of your spine. How well you stand up to the temptations of hell, yeah.
Very true.
They do get more tempting the longer you spend in this place. Well, what can I do you for? He puts the bagpipes down with like a sickly wheeze, and pulls a little pipe out of his like vest pocket. And he packs it and lights it, and he's going through this as you're having your conversation.
I'll bring up, just out of curiosity, why decide to work on, or why camp down here?
I mean, in the hole.
Yeah.
Well, don't know if you've noticed, but the rest of the places are steep in water and mud and mosquitoes the size of sparrows. So down here, it's just dirt, packed clay. He sort of gestures behind him with his pipe, and as he does, the smell of this pipe is horrific. It is somehow worse than the malleferous miasma of the swamp around you.
Even the what was it? The death flower that I smelled a while back.
No, not as bad as that. No.
Okay.
No. This is like somebody made a spliff with like the dankest weed and then also the biggest, stinkiest cigar that you've ever smelled. Put it together in this pipe, ground it up, and then lit it with like a sulfur torch.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
visual.
Yeah. And the smoke that comes off of it as he gestures is thick and white and seems to linger a lot longer than pipe smoke should. And if you look, well, Raheem can't look, but if anybody else follows his gesture behind his shoulder, you can see down into the crater behind him. And in the middle of the crater is a completely smooth dome of what appears to be white frosted glass. And beneath this white frosted glass is pulsing in time with this diseased sort of plaque on the stones, an orange glow beneath it. Like a heartbeat. Or if you've ever candled a fertilized chicken egg and you can see the embryo inside it.
oh, oh. Embryo being Empyrean.
It's better in here than out there.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, I guess then I'll ask this. You know, don't mind me asking. What are you specifically doing, I guess, down here
In the hole or in hell?
in hell?
Oh. Well. Same thing you're doing, I imagine. I fell. Made a mistake. Hit the ground hard. Find myself in a difficult situation. Making the best of it. One can get used to anything if you have got to do it long enough.
That's fair. Have you thought about getting out?
Oh, I can leave anytime I want. But why would I want to?
Because it's hell.
Ah. If you never heard the saying, hell is other people. There's no other people down here, just me.
And us.
Oh, yeah, touche. But I don't imagine you're looking to be neighbors. You'll pass through. Or pass away, as they all do.
Okay. I'm not down there.
Nope.
Are you able to ascertain what is the root cause of points at crater? Or points at like the embryo thing in the center, and then at the pulsating, sickly looking organic material?
Oh, that. Well, yeah, what you think happens to a plane of hell when a celestial being crash lands in it?
I don't know what
Bit like-
happens.
Well, it's a bit like pouring vinegar into a batch of baking soda. Explodes. Boils over. Leaves a foamy residue.
I always imagine they'd slowly turn like an infection.
Yeah.
That's not far off. It's not far off. I don't know. You've all probably not heard of this. Maybe he gestures with his pipe towards Schlep. You look like you're a bit of an alchemical nature. You're a bit of a chemist.
It's covered in like bottles and vials.
Yeah.
As he walks.
Yeah. Either that or you're making meth. But there's a substance of great, great destructive potential. This is a chemical substance, napalm. It sticks to everything, dissolves the bits underneath it.
Is he referring to the slime?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a bit like that, only what it's found itself on is just as strong as what it is. So they're stuck. Stuck in a bit of a stalemate, waiting to see who'll change the other.
Is there any reason why we should avoid a celestial here? We've been told to avoid the Grinkenai, but we have traveled through regardless.
Oh. Well, now, with me.
Are you the Grinkenai?
That's what they call me, aye.
Why do they call you the Grinkenai?
Well, it's my name, isn't it?
I've been misspelling it this entire fucking time. I like A-Y-A-Y-E.
God damn it. How dare you?
Aye, Grinkin. That's my name. Grinkin. Aye.
Looks at Raheem.
Shaking my head. Can I make a I guess a vibe check on this guy? Just insight on him.
Make an insight. What are you trying to determine? Like good vibes, bad vibes?
Essentially.
Is he as harmless as he comes across?
Yeah.
Also, I'm curious as well because I'm getting good vibes about that last thing he made about that being a stalemate. That made me question: how long has he been here? How does he know that?
Chopper's gonna poke a Quinsu and go, "You think it's time we go down there and meet this guy?"
Are you sure that you want to go down there with something that might be a celestial, given your history?
I guess it depends on what god the celestial devotes itself to.
My understanding from what you have told me is that all of them are worthy of consideration.
You're not wrong. However, if we can get some info out of this thing, or get like help, I guess, I'm willing to overlook that for a minute.
All right, well, if you think you can keep yourself in good self-control, then I will head down there with you.
No promises, but let's go.
No promises.
Nope.
I wouldn't,
Fantastic.
would not ask you to make
I
promises.
got a
you
grenade
cannot
with the
keep.
pin pulled out.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Raheem, you're like vibe checking this dude. You're like, he seems harmless enough. Like he's just like a little dude.
Just a little bit.
Just a little dude. And you like think about it and you're like, is he just a little dude? Maybe he's not just a little dude. He did make that statement about everyone he meets either passes by or passes away. That seems a little ominous for just a little dude. Huh. Food for thought. Clyde. So he has told you the absolute truth. Everything he has said to you has been not only the absolute truth, but exactly what he has observed. Like, there is the ring of conviction about it, which gives you the impression that this motherfucker been here a long time. It's hard to calculate, it's as hard to calculate time in hell as it is distance. because it's all just space. But he's seen some shit. And the conviction with which he spoke about this stalemate leads you to believe that he has been a first-person witness.
Oh well, you probably okay.
Yeah. Oh, I wondered when your friends were going to join us. Hail and well met, travelers.
Howdy.
I would say good morning, but I don't know if that concept exists here.
Oh. Of good or morning?
Well, that is a good point. Wait, is it just a point?
Greetings, my
That
name is Asclepius.
is a point.
I like you. Asclepius. Excellent. Grink and I.
A pleasure.
Welcome to my humble abode. Can I be of help? Can I be of service? Shall we play a game of cards?
Have you played chess before?
I'm gonna roll a D100 and see if you've played chess before.
I guess he doesn't own a chess set.
It's like, no, I'm afraid I've never had a head for the game. My ma, she tried to teach me. She's quite strategic in her thinking, and I just got so frustrated every time we tried to play. She beat me. So I'm familiar with the game, but I do not play. I'm more of a solitaire sort of person. Perhaps a hand at gin rummy. Catch me with a bit of spades from time to time. Not that I've got much company to play it with.
Glad play Hold'em.
Hold on.
Well, no, I don't believe I've had a hug in quite a while.
That's from Space to Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a card game. A card game. Just a bit of humor. It's a bit rusty. I've been known to bluff my way through a game or two.
Well, Grink and I, we came because we were most curious about who you are and how you are related to Tyax.
Name I haven't heard in age. He's still alive.
Yes.
That son of a bitch. Huh. Wonder if he'll ever come back through. He did me a good turn. Time or two ago. He pauses for a moment and sort of looks up as if he's doing some mental calculus. Suppose it's been... What year is it on the surface? The material plane?
2024 AD.
Yeah. And he thinks about it and he's
1874.
You doing some special underwear math over there?
It's called boy math.
I'm familiar with that.
Bug math.
Bug math. Oh. You're not from the material plane, this one. Interesting. Alright, I understand. I suppose it's been going on 150 years since I've seen Tyax through these parts. He's a charmer. Hell of a liar. Do not play cards with him.
Oh no.
See, he got you too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I lost a fair bit of soul coins to that man last time he came through. But he's always good for a laugh, good for a story. Most of them are lies, but what can he expect? It's in his nature. Did me a good turn. Sent some business my way. I owe him a favor for it.
Business.
Ate well for quite a while. Oh, aye.
You're on like decently okay terms with him.
Oh. Yeah, I've nothing against the man. Did me a good turn. I owe him a favor, in fact.
Is there a reason why Tyax believes that he owes you a favor?
Probably because he's dumb as dog shit. He's a bit... I don't know if you've noticed. Man's a bit manic. Personality turns on a dime.
Noticed that as well.
We are...
I'd also would like to ask, what do you know of the man, his motives? Seems as a question airs a lot between this party.
His motives. I suppose it's to serve his master. Same as anyone else in his situation.
His master? Question mark?
Hey, his
wait.
master.
Isn't that fucking what's his name on the ship?
The host?
Fucking, I don't remember his name.
But bishop guy, I think. Right?
Kotom?
Kotom, that's his name.
You're traveling with Kotom, that old fucking fart. No sense of humor, that man. None.
Not
Dower. No, Dower's a washboard. Hey, Tyax is... Sir... Oh. You don't know. The sight. How long have you been traveling with him? And he's managed to keep it under wraps this long.
That is...
Couple weeks.
Huh. Well, suppose that tracks. Lies and all.
To be fair, we have been too busy trying to stay alive to ask any inquisitive questions about anyone's motivations, really. With the exception of our own motivations, which is to survive and to perhaps find our souls.
Oh, aye. That's probably why you're alive this long, honestly. Stick your nose in too many other people's businesses down here, you tend to lose it.
Or create power vacuums.
Have you been going around doing assassinations then?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Oh, just manslaughter then. If it's not on purpose, it's just manslaughter. I mean, you'll still get killed for it if you get caught, I suppose. But
I mean, the first one was a little bit on purpose, but this... Was this just the second one? The second one...
It was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
who have you been killing?
I'm gonna share a parting gift. Slap.
Oh!
I
He
mean, we could
reaches-
just say
reaches
the
around
name.
and
We
takes out
don't have-
takes out Karna's head.
we could just say the name.
Please.
Huh. The old bitch finally got it then, huh?
I
Funny.
really want to do it, but
We
wanted
tried to
kill
give her an
us, so-
opportunity to run.
Yeah,
Right.
we did. I did at least.
You know,
Although I guess he would have seen the belt of Storm Giant strength on Rahi.
I know this looks bad, but we did.
yeah.
Totally trying to give her a second chance at the hide the champion belt.
Yeah. She's she's bound to run to a bad end. Bit of a prickly one. Really, I suppose that's what happens to people when they deny their true nature.
Bound to the foes like you wanted.
Wait,
Well-
what was it?
Aye. Well, she has this whole thing about druidic, or had, I suppose, since she's dead. Points at her head. And had, you know, tenses are a bit weird where I'm from. This whole thing about communing with the swamp or some shit. It's a fucking swamp.
But what was she actually?
As opposed to a druid.
Yes.
She was I can't pronounce it. And in
A hippie?
An anathema?
well, yes.
And in Shiri's? Aye, she was that, like, species-wise. She's a fucking wizard. He points at the staff of power that Aquinsu's got.
Oh, awkward.
Oh, I thought perhaps she was a sorcerer. Speaking of true natures, though, cousin, perhaps it would be helpful for us to understand the true nature of Tyax. It seems as though, well, we have been naive. It's something of a theme so far.
I suppose you don't end up in hell voluntarily without being a bit naive. Or soulless, for that matter. I've always found it's the ones that make naive choices that end up paying the price. He's the cleric, don't you know? Serves God. A god, not all of them.
Oh, the theory?
Which one?
Tyax?
Yeah.
Cyric?
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
Why would ya? You're a fucking bug from another dimension.
It's a god I never heard of.
Roll a religion if you'd like to tell if you know who Cyric is.
I can ask the question, so it makes sense for me to rattle my brain about religion.
I'm not gonna get
Oh, well, I actually did
Nope.
pretty well this time.
Raheem, you're like, I don't know. He said he's a cleric, and you like your butt immediately puckered, and you're like, no, gross.
Single digit
I was,
roll still. I
I
love
was just
it.
Team Bahamut. That's all I knew.
Yeah, you're like, listen, I converted for my wife. Like, this is not a scholar of religion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Sharp Eye, you're like, I don't know who that is. He's not a very well-known god. Aquinsu,
List of gods I hate. Helm? No, not him. Ilmater? No, not him. End of list.
Oh, I heard about that. There's something about a crucifixion, no?
Yeah. Yeah, my people crucified Ilmater.
Thought you were gonna
Cos-
say bug Jesus.
He
I mean,
he was kind
I
of into it, I think. It's his MO.
yeah, no, you're not wrong. Caused a bit of a stir on Mount Celestia, though, so I remember. So Aquinsu and Asclepius, you both know that Cyric is the god of lies. He is the god of lies. Schlep, you know, not only is he the god of lies, but Cyric also harbors a deep, deep hatred for Celeborn, who is Khotan's god.
Any Grink and I.
Asclepius.
We are. Tyax is doing us a service by aiding us in what Aquinsu stated surviving and navigating the hells as we go about our quests, each of us
So far, so
individually.
All right,
What?
he's a fair hand at the helm.
What would be his reason for aiding us, given that we haven't necessarily struck an outright deal with compensation for him?
Well, the same reason any holy person does anything is God told him to. No?
And why would Cyric...
There's a bit of an upheaval on the horizon down here, isn't there? I can feel Asmodeus down there in the depths, scheming. Terrible breath, Asmodeus. Terrible.
May we ask what business was brought to you with the aid of Tyax? To be, the reason why you owe him a favor.
Bit of company. Gets a bit lonely down here. Bit of entertainment. Gets a bit boring down here. A bit of food. Been hungry for a while.
Greek and I cannot help but get the feeling that this conversation is turning into an interview. We are asking you so many questions. Is there any way that we can be helpful to you or anything that you would like to know about us? I know that we are not nearly as interesting and have not lived quite as long, but I just figured that it would be narcissistic of us to make it all about us.
Well, you're a polite one, huh? Cousin, is it?
Something like that. Once or twice removed.
A bit. Not quite. Not so far removed as some of your kind.
Fair enough.
Some angel bloods come through, and it's more like they've been woven of a tapestry, and a single thread in that tapestry is from Celestia. Just one single thread, and it's enough. It's enough. The divine has a way of infecting everything it touches. Sort of points around him. But you...
Infecting is an interesting choice of words.
Well. Suppose it depends on how you feel about humanity as it comes naturally. But you've more than just one thread in there. It's a little more substantial.
I was raised primarily by my father. Unfortunately, there are aspects of my own ancestry that are a bit more curious to me as well. Mom's side of the family.
I'll tell you from experience. Celestial mothers are no joke. Mine's not. That's for sure.
Wait.
Yeah?
No, what I was going to ask you another question about yourself, but Quincy wants us to talk about ourselves.
Why, you're cursed,
Oh,
right? Yeah. The dog man also cursed.
Yeah.
How about that?
The broken holy warrior also cursed.
Raheem, you're cursed.
Bit of his own doing, bit of another's. Made a deal that didn't quite work out near the way you thought it would.
Definitely backfired. Should have paid attention to the fine print.
That's how they get you, devils. They get you in a moment of weakness when you don't have time to read the fine print.
That would do it.
Then
That's
you end
right.
up with a 6-month subscription.
Exactly. Sometimes it's even worse, though. Sometimes it's a multi-level marketing kind of thing. And then you're on the hook for getting more souls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I know, it's awful. I just prefer to eat them, but
Hmm?
you know,
Hmm?
collecting souls is a dirty, time-consuming work. You got to figure out what people want, offer it to them, and figure out a way to not give it to them. Unless you're from Dis. Dis is important to follow the rules, but otherwise,
Yeah, well, hold up. But you just said, correct me if I'm wrong, the hearing, and you just said you just eat them?
sure.
I have a more straightforward question.
What
I apologize if it is frank.
Please.
With the knowledge I am given, angels are the embodiment of pure goodness descended from the divine.
Who programmed you?
That would be a bipartisan effort between followers of Gond and Bahamut.
That makes sense. If the divine is always good, why are there evil gods?
Well, I guess I should specify prime deities.
Hierarchies. Bit of a false dichotomy, no? Some are powerful, some aren't, just like mortal beings, like yourselves. Those that are more powerful subjugate those that are less powerful.
Are you making the argument that the divine are simply the same as mortal humanoids?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're more powerful, right? Different blood, different powers, different plane of existence. But sure, they have affairs, they get married, they have children, they harbor grudges, they hate, they wage war. Doesn't that sound an awful lot like humanity? And sure, yeah, they bestow gifts upon mortals. Take care of them in their time of need. But doesn't a person do that too when they care about someone? Or when it benefits them? Say you're a king. Right? Mortal king. Mid-sized kingdom. You could be a good king. You could be a bad king. Either way, a good king could starve his people because he was too weak to take what he needed from his neighbors. Bad king could serve his people well. They could be fat and happy, never know hardship.
So you're saying it doesn't matter, nor is there an obligation to be good nor evil?
It's all more of a matter of perspective. You'll never know.
It's something
I don't
more
think
like
it matters.
good and evil are less qualifiers of morality and ethics, and something more akin to a power dynamic.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think there's ever a moral obligation to anything, right? There's the thing you want to accomplish, and there's the way you get there. If you're a king, the thing you want to accomplish is that you have a happy kingdom, and you serve your peasants well, and you have peace, and you have food, and they're protected. If you do that, but you do it by taking the goods of your neighbor, you've done the thing you set out to do, and it's a net positive, right? The people you care about are taken care of. Now, is that good or evil?
And
Likewise, the opposite.
Does that impact where the soul goes after perishing?
Well, I suppose it might. But you've been in hell long enough to know. People end up down here without doing anything bad. People end up down here alive. People make mistakes. They fall in a hole. They get born the wrong place. Somebody else gambles away their life. Likewise, you end up on Mount Celestia, you end up in paradise.
Maybe you end up there because you did one good thing at the end of a wretched life. You've redeemed yourself, made yourself a hero. Does that erase the hundreds of people you killed on the way? Just because you sacrificed yourself to save one orphan? Because you got down on your knees in front of Bahamut's silver statue and said, "Oh, please, Lord, I pledge myself to you. Give me your justice." Doesn't erase the bad things you've done.
So, your perspective on the matter is to align yourself in whatever way brings the most value and fulfillment to you in your life.
Yeah, or the people that you're beholden to. I think it's important. The ties that bind. Right? The ties that bind are important.
Well, if
Look,
serving
you've an
those...
obligation.
I appreciate your insight.
Sure, and welcome. You know, it's been a long time since I've had an opportunity to argue philosophy. Made this day a good one.
Oh, that's good. Alright.
No need for sarcasm. I didn't threaten you.
Oh, no, I wasn't being sorry.
Oh, that's
I
just that's just your face. All right.
Yeah.
It is his accent. It is hard to understand.
Yes.
Understand, it's the mandibles. I understand, yeah. I should know better than to judge somebody by their face.
So, Cyric is interested in whatever business we are conducting.
Sure.
Likely.
Sure, and also, you know, I mean, what better way to get in a position to take out a rival god's cleric than to put one of your favorite clerics as a second in command, no?
So Kotam is not aware that Tyax is a Cyric follower.
Oh gosh. No. No, that old coot couldn't. I don't know if you've noticed, but he's not clever. He operates at the speed of a half-broken windmill.
Is there...
Description of the man.
Scup is gonna whisper to Rahim.
Mm-hmm.
Master, this truly is a long-standing, wise, divine being. Is there anything you would like to run by him?
Just for funsies, roll me a stealth check.
Oh,
Just to see how quiet you are.
We're
Or
so...
you could do performance also.
We're so bad at that.
You can do performance if you'd prefer.
Nope.
No, yeah, alright. The Grinkenai is just making real steady eye contact with the two of you. Raheem doesn't know, and Schlep probably doesn't have enough social awareness to understand, but he's just staring straight at you as you have this conversation.
Yes, clearly I'm just assuming, yes, Slep is being very sneaky while telling me this.
Yeah. He kind of raises his eyebrows at the rest of the party and, like, chins towards them. Like, think they're being quiet?
Little.
Look, they're married, so...
Oh.
Uh,
I've seen weirder marriages.
Well, hold on.
I have a question for you, Shapai.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know, this being of the companion that has perished, but you still seem troubled. I've noticed a follow around, but also want to understand of this Grankenai's knowledge Perhaps you think he knows a little bit more about it. Maybe you can still resemble her memory.
About
Her
Rose?
companion. Is that her name? Yes, Rose, I believe.
Look, the time I had with Rose was good. Probably the best things that happened to me in years, actually. But I don't think she's really dead. I mean, who turns into fucking leaves and then blows away into dust?
I mean, you'd be shocked about how many people in their lives that way.
But once this is over with whatever we're doing, I'm going to go find her.
Oh, romantic.
Quincy
Particular
has,
bug man.
I guess
Quincy has conjured a bunch of glasses and has filled them with water from the decanter of endless water and just sort of passed them around so we can sort of like hydrate while we
Right.
chat.
I guess that leads me to believe, maybe we could ask this gentleman where you could be searching for, or maybe be a way for her to come to you. You might be alive.
I mean, that might be. Grankin, do you know
I-
Rose?
A flower?
No, not the flower. Well, she did have a flower growing out of her head.
She did kind of disappear like a flower.
Come here.
Yeah?
Yeah, come here. I'm not that big. Come here. And he reaches up and just grabs you by an antennae and pulls you down.
Ah!
And looks real deep in your eyes. Oh. Oh?
Don't you fucking dare.
Put you back.
She's not from this world.
Neither am I. What do you mean, wait? This world? Like, I'm not from hell either. I have found.
No, not. Right. So, the world's made up of plates, and the plates are stacked on top of each other. And if you want to go from plate to plate, right, you have to have some sort of magic, or you could have an astral ship, right? Some sort of starship. You could be some sort of great celestial being. I've seen giant spiders do the thing. It's grotesque. And they're delicious also. If you run into an astral spider, tempura.
Hit me
Recommend. But
Astral spider legs are actually a delicacy in the Dead South.
delicious. They're delicious. But the thing that our plates all have in common, right? They operate on a similar set of rules. A similar set of gods, a similar set of demons. The powers that be in these plates. They balance each other more or less eventually. The physics are the same. Right? Up is up, down is down.
Yeah.
Even in the void, there's rules. But you ever taken a piece of paper and you fold it in half? And you have two pieces of the same piece of paper touching.
Yeah. And then you poke a
Right.
hole through it and you could travel. Yeah, that's.
No, I'm not talking about wormholes.
Oh.
There's the space, that sliver of space between those pieces of paper where they don't touch. There's something in there still. That molecule thin bit between them. She's from a place between the plates. Operates under its own set of rules. Its own set of gods, evil and good. That little bit she had in her.
It sounds like I'm gonna be traveling for a while.
That would explain why she was not a very good bard.
Wait, how does that explain that?
Sound travel's different in these liminal spaces. But you know, there's more to the world than what you see, than what you think, than what you're told. more worlds in the world than that. More dangers and more goods.
Yeah, when you use the plate thing, I was gonna say is like, does it go upwards towards infinity, downwards towards infinity, and then left right towards infinity? There's just 1,000 stacks of plates going in every which way direction for an infinite amount.
Alright, yeah.
Because that's how the astral plane kind of works.
Right, the astral plane's just one of those plates.
Yeah.
They're all spinning. They're all spinning together, balanced, ephemerally. Some people say it's on the back of a giant elephant, balanced on the back of a turtle. But I've never seen the god turtle. I don't think that it exists. But perhaps it does. Perhaps I'll find out one day. Maybe I'll just stay in this hole. Maybe I'll suck all your souls out.
What
Maybe I
now?
won't. I'm not interested in that. You're far more interested in alive.
Oh, okay. That's good. But
For now.
And then tell no tales.
Or
You can-
what tales you're gonna tell about me? What you even know?
Well, I think your intellect is far superior than any of ours from the previous conversations.
I would not be so sure.
Perhaps not. But
Wait.
wisdom and intellect. I'm sure y'all have met plenty of people. Plenty of people who you wouldn't trust to do your taxes. But they could survive in any place you put them. And people so smart it makes your head spin. And they'd drown trying to get water out of a boot.
Can we ask what caused you to fall?
I didn't so much fall as I was thrown, hurled into the depths. Mothers, you know. You've seen human women, perhaps. But I suppose this is more of a barbarian trait, where they teach their kids to swim by just tossing them into the frozen river. Bit like that.
I don't think I understand.
I think you're the Empyrean. Is that most of your power in that crater then?
Just say I'm growing something special. Can wear a lot of different faces. And he takes his hand and puts it over his face, like John Cena style. And every time he moves his hand, he wears a different face.
But why would your mother throw you?
Sink or swim, find your way in the world. Make a difference. Perhaps not.
Is your mother a
Survive.
goddess?
Aye. All Empyreans are the children of gods.
That's good to know. Like, which goddess is Yarn?
Don't think that's any of your business, is it?
That's fair.
Didn't go asking who birthed you.
You
Her
did
name is
ask who
Eve.
birthed me.
That was relevant to our conversation.
Yes, it was.
That was relevant to the conversation and not just rude pandering.
Okay.
Oh, pardon my out of the blue question, but you do seem rather lonely here. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't mind venturing with us, having to be entertained than just trying to fix your bagpipe and all these other algae.
He snaps his fingers and it's not a bagpipe anymore. It's a lute. Snaps his fingers again. It's not a lute. It's a sword.
Oh,
Snaps his fingers again. It's not a sword. It's a pony.
but
It's just a bit of illusion. People come by. I knew you were coming since last night.
Makes people feel more at ease if somebody's engaged in an activity. But you've asked me to come with you. Is that what you're asking?
I'd like to, like you two.
To what end? Entertainment? Protection?
I believe it's more for pure entertainment. I personally think you are fun to have around.
You are an interesting little dog, aren't you?
Thank you. I don't normally get compliments.
Tis a compliment. Aye. Interesting way of looking at the world. All right. Well, I'll not come with you just because the puppy wants me to come.
Here's a question: can you leave?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I could go wherever I want.
Then I guess, do you want to come with us?
Maybe.
You would have to share a ride on a boat with Tyax.
I don't think Tyax would like that.
Yeah,
I also would love to see
Holy-
the look on his face when he sees you.
Well, I don't have to look like this, do I?
Good point, good point.
And he waves a hand in front of his whole body, and he suddenly looks like a human woman. About 45. Brown hair in a long braid, gray hair.
You watch the
threaded through
excitement build up in Sklep, and he goes, Would you do us the honor
like
of playing a...
He's taken aback by her beauty.
Would you do us the honor of... Holds up Telekarna's head.
Oh!
Oh!
I knew I liked you. Philosophy and a good prank? Sure. Waves the other hand, and you suddenly just see an identical copy of Telekarna standing there.
This should be very interesting to watch his reaction.
Agreed.
No, I think that the Grink and I should stay here.
I could. Plenty to do, plenty to see, plenty to think about.
At the end of the day, you can't. I mean, it's not like we can stop you, whatever you choose to do.
Correct.
It is the illusion of choice. Ultimately, if he wanted to leave, assuming that he is a he, if they wanted to leave, they would have left a long time ago. Us voting does not matter.
I have a feeling. Are you? Can I try to touch Grankin real quick?
Sure. I mean, he grabbed you by the antenna and pulled you down.
He did. He did. So he's a physical thing.
Mhm.
But like I'm looking over at the dome in the middle of the crater, and I go, "If you're here, what's over there?"
It's the same thing.
That's
This
his
could have a
credo.
simulacra, of course.
Yeah, it's probably him.
It is an avatar.
That's probably the closest thing. So, were I to die, which would be difficult. Please don't get any ideas. Were I to die, it would be a temporary situation. But, were I to die without that complete, I'd get shunted back to Mount Celestia and be at the beck and call of my mother, the dear cunt that sent me down here in the first place. But, if that's to finish cooking, and all goes to plan, it eliminates the need to go begging mommy for my life, for my resurrection again.
Okay.
That's a clear image now.
Your transparency is appreciated.
Well, haven't really got any reason to lie to you, have I?
What could you do about it anyway?
There.
I could change the weather right now. Not sweat a single drop. Earthquake. Shake the rocks from beneath your feet.
But that wouldn't that put like a target on your back? And, fuck, what's the prince of this lair?
Mama?
Isn't Mammon watching you like a goddamn hawk? I was expecting like some sort of devil or some contingent of anything to be here when I heard you were an Empyrean.
He's afraid of me.
Don't blame him.
What would you do once that finishes cooking? Would you go somewhere? Would you do something?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Haven't decided yet. Got all of eternity. I don't have to make any rash decisions. I do as I please. Come and go as I please. Come back here. Where I'm cooking, if you will. But I like it in the ineffable trove. It's full of so many different experiences. Ones I've never had before. Ones I couldn't have as an immortal being. As a creature of Celestia. You know something of that schlep, Asclepius, don't you?
Yes.
The lure of the experiences you cannot have. It's a bit like a drug. To feel feelings. Mortals feel feelings so strongly. They last for but a blink of an eye. They've got to get it all in immediately. They're rash and impetuous and full of grief.
Yes, they are.
Hey.
Grief and fury.
Just look at it, Rocky.
Grief and fury and lust, and it's delicious. The experience is it's so intense. For they've got what, 100 years? 200? Maybe 8 if they're long lived. But at the end of the day, they all go the way of dust. And me? And maybe you? Points at Asclepius. And, well, your poor cursed soul. Points at Sharp Eye. Left to go on. And on. And on. See the people that we love, people that we hate, die and turn to corruption besides us. And you come to crave. You come to crave those ephemeral bits of humanity. Same way you might eat a piece of popcorn. Savor a ripe strawberry. It's a bit of experience, a bit of something delicious. And then it's gone, melted on your tongue.
Any advice before we part ways?
Always check your boots before you put them on in the morning.
I don't wear boots.
Well, in that case, dear Asclepius, change comes like a whirlwind sometimes, and you can feel it, and it pulls on you, and it feels like panic and bile and desperation, and that's the kind of change you can fight against. But some change, the more permanent kind, comes like sleep at the end of a long day, and it sneaks up on you before you even know it, till it's got you in your grasp and you're falling. And you can try and fight, but nobody ever wins against the pull of unconscious, pull of sleep. And that's the kind of change that's dangerous. That's the kind of change that doesn't just change the outsides, it changes the in. And once the in is changed, you are changed.
So I should embrace it then.
I cannot answer that for you. That's a thing you've decided for yourself. But do you want to be as you are? Or do you want to be as them? Or do you want to be a third thing? Be something new, if you wanted. Something not programmed, something not beholden to the bits and bobs inside you. You could be like them, embrace humanity. Find the sliver of your soul and grow it. Become a hero, a villain. Something that loves and hates and grieves. Or perhaps you stay unchanging and you stay as yourself. Or the self that they made you. Or you don't have to be. You don't have to be what they made you. You don't have to be as them, as mortals. You could be another thing and make the choice of someone who lives long, that sees the world with a long, patient eye. And then you become a moral unto yourself. That moral is determined by the world you want to make.
The world I want to make.
But you have to have a vision first. So embrace the change.
He's had plenty of visions.
Well, in that case, maybe you follow him and see what's at the end. But you can make the choice yourself, if you so choose. It doesn't have to be those that are programmed for you in ones and zeros, nor does it have to be those set down for good or evil mortals.
I'm still grasping this concept of desire.
It's slippery. It has thorns. Desire. Bites back when you get it sometimes.
How do you have still having trouble with desire when it was you who desired to talk with the Grand Canai?
Change. It's subtle.
That is a fair point. I will analyze that. I will internalize that.
We'll internalize that.
That's Cynthia will remember that.
Yeah, much more.
Yes, it was my idea to see the Grinkenai. I wanted to see the Grinkenai. Why did I want to see the Grinkenai?
Curiosity.
Because
We are going to break him.
because Tyax may be a threat to the party, and it is my responsibility to care for the party.
You wanted to see the Grand Canai because Tyax is a shady bitch.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
But it's not every day that I get to have a conversation and consult an angel.
Well, Angel is both more and less than I am. At this point, and ever was.
An Empyrean.
Angel. More accurate. Some might call me a Titan. Some have. But you can be many things if you only know how. He waves a hand again, and he just looks like a little gnome. Waves his hand again, and he's suddenly 20 feet tall. Beautiful golden armor,
wings spread out behind him like a flare of sunrise in the swamp. And then it's gone just as quick. And he's just a little tired gnome with a little shitty bagpipe in the middle of this hole. I could be any and all of those things or none of them. So can you.
Well, of all of the experiences in hell so far, this is the one that has subverted my expectations in the positive direction the most. I was expecting to come into a situation that we are going to be ambushed and attacked and have to fight for our lives or flee for our lives, and instead, well, we have simply had a conversation. So, I would like for us to end it before we get too ahead of ourselves.
Intelligence.
He's the only one in the party who's got it.
No, Asclepius is smart, but he's also not
Who has the most
human
wrinkled
enough.
brain in the
He's
party?
also
Uh,
robot, so-
It's just that angel blood here. He's got the weight of human experience to tell him the common sense to go with his intelligence. And Asclepius is still becoming. What he's becoming is up to him. The Grinkeneye reaches out and puts one small hand back in his gnome form in the center of Asclepius's chest.
I kneel down.
He just puts it there. Just in case you need a reminder. And when he removes his hand, there's a little piece of that orange glow stuck to the front of your breastplate. I like you. And I'd like to see what you become.
What does this do?
You'll know when it's time. It's a piece of me.
He turns, Master Rahim, I don't think you've ever branded me before.
If that's what you prefer to call it. I think of it as a calling card.
The Grinking Eye has the front. You should brand me in the back.
Stop it. Just stop it. So sometimes I think this is not innocent. Sometimes I just have to wonder. I feel like you know what you're saying sometimes.
Probably, yeah.
I am self-aware if that is what you're asking. He's not that self-aware.
No. No. But I appreciate that you all have come to see me and that I didn't have to kill you. You're by
Appreciate you
far the
not killing
most...
us.
Yeah. I think the hells are the more interesting for having you in them. For now.
Now.
Should we go pay attention? Sorry, I tripped up with my words. Should we go say hello to some dragons here, or should we just leave?
Oh.
Are they nice? Or is that not a good idea?
Should we just skip the dragon part and just go on our merry way?
Illithric is quite nice sometimes.
Sometimes.
Full of a story. Loves a good laugh. Classic is... Well, she's a Styx dragon. And has very little time for the trappings of men. But she loves Illithric and protects him. Can't say that I know what they've got in their hoard, but might be worth it if you want it.
Maybe
Or it
we
might
can
not.
trade.
You want to trade with them? I've never known a dragon to give things out of their hoard. You come in there with things that they want, they'll take them.
Nope, we're not meeting the dragons. We're going right back to the.
You ought to pay a visit to the Janglin Hitter. I think it might ease your way to the next place.
What of the elder brain here in the ineffable trove?
Well, an aspect of him, Corteso.
An aspect.
Oh, what?
Sure.
That's the other brain we met on Dis.
Yeah.
Correct, it's the same one. How many elder brains do you think are in hell?
It's
That
all
was
the
surprising
strange things in
one.
hell.
So,
Oh, well, yes, he's the one.
We are
He's
on
got-
familiar terms with him. Perhaps we can make some deals.
No,
Why?
Schlep, you have enough visions.
He's always in the market for dreams. You have to
Master
have a dream model,
Rahim,
but
just Raheem, but what's up?
I think that Sharpeye is impeding on my independence, but you are my master.
No. Oh, boy.
Only Master Rahim can tell me I'm having too many visions. Am I having too many visions, Master Rahim?
you feel that little piece of plaque on your chest flare hot for a moment. And you hear a voice, Grinkin's voice, echo very slightly. And he just says, "No masters. No chains."
But Master Rahim is my master.
Ownership is an illusion.
Hmm. Scep will internalize this.
You're only owned because you believe you're owned. And if you believed you weren't, you wouldn't be. Take your master here.
Nope. Nope.
He believed himself safe under the palm of Bahamut. Because he believed it so, it was. And when he didn't believe it so, it wasn't.
Hmm. No, not a thought behind those eyes, but many thoughts all at the same time.
So you can have as many visits as you want. You don't need to check it with me or it was the sharp eye for the record. But before, I guess, and you're free to not tell us before we go. Just out of curiosity, you've been here for quite some time, so there is some wisdom to that. Is there anything you could tell us about any of the? We're going all the way down. Is there anything you could tell us about any of the lower planes that we need to be concerned about?
Especially Stygia.
Especially the 8th layer. Added for no particular reason.
Persuasion check.
Ooh, you have advantage.
Yay!
Kamiya?
Oh, that's a natural one.
That's a natural 20.
Yep. Natural 1 and natural 20. Give it and take
The
it.
dichotomy of man.
Yep.
The Grinkin eye sort of puts a hand to his chin and drums his fingers a little bit. He says the best piece of advice I could give you is that the more you let this place sink its claws into you, the easier it will be for you to turn on each other. And there are some amongst you that are already dangerous the lower you go. Asmodeus, Lord Asmodeus, he's got far-reaching tendrils. And if he senses weakness, if he senses corruption, he'll prey upon it. And there won't be a damned thing you could do about it to stop it. Guard yourselves and each other. For once it's lost, it's lost. And you all know how hard it is to find that what's lost. Keep yourselves whole as you can. The more yourself you are as you go down, the safer you'll be.
Thank you for that bit of advice.
I think you all could have used it long before you came to me.
It's pretty accurate.
This has been most pleasant. But we should be going, as we have quite a distance to cover, and the swamps are quite unpleasant.
Correct. Correct, they are. And also, I'm a bit peckish. So. Oh, wait.
Oh wait, I got. All right.
No.
Something tells me that it does not eat food.
No.
And so he's already on his way out.
Yeah. And as you trek once more up the crumbling sides of this crater, I will ask if there's any other things you would like to discuss as a party, and if no, we shall call it there.
I do want to give. Oh my god. Scrying eye, or not scrying eye, fuck me.
Drinking eye?
Oh, vision.
Drinking eye?
Thank you. Oh my god. I would give him like a final bow and then say, my illusion of the invitation is still up on the table if you were to choose.
Appreciate it. Invitation should only be given in earnest. And you're taking a bit of me with you.
Hooks a thumb in Schlepp's direction.
Perhaps I'll show up. But perhaps you won't want me to. Growth is what happens when no one's looking. As is destruction.
True. But that's the beauty of ignorance and illusion, isn't it?
I think so. But all of life is ignorance, all of life is illusion. Just depends on which one we want to lean into.
I took the red pill.
And it is all bliss until it hits us when it's not. Take care of yourself. And then that will follow up the party.
And you. Hey!
You all didn't get in a fight with the Grinkin Eye.
Yay!
Did you think we would?
All right,
I
jump
kind
in.
of hope. I kind of hope you would.
Honestly, I kind of wanted to get into one.
Yeah.
When you
it's-
asked like who your mother was, I was a bit nervous. Like,
Who's your
Wait,
fucking mom?
You're gonna say it, and then he's gonna whip out the shotgun. And...
Who's your mom?
This
Who's your mama?
Imperium knows who you are, and you're asking who his mom is.
Who's your mama?
Well, there's a reason Sharp Eye has a +0 to charisma.
He's at CR 23.
Oh no!
His spell save DC is 23 with a plus 15 to hit.
A natural one is a 15.
And for his melee weapons, it's a plus 17 to hit.
Ooh.
Just so you know.
Sharp Eye pulls out a gun. Aha! And then it just, poof, just smashes.
We didn't know that guy.
What?
Meet Jamaica.
Look, I don't want to kill you, and I don't know if you want to kill me. I got a soul for you to eat, but like we could wrestle.
We can wrestle.
We can wrestle.
His ranged attack has a range of 600 feet.
Jeez.
Like that, we were still screwed, even ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
600?
Uh-huh. Yep. And he gets to choose the damage type.
I can imagine just kiting the hell out of us, just from 500 feet away. We're just running.
The damage is 7d6.
Oh, jeez Christ.
Yep.
That is.
Effectively
Alright.
a fireball every time.
It's a good thing we didn't. It's a good thing we didn't fight this
I
guy.
mean,
Max
I
42 damage.
yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
I know. I'm a little bit,
Disappointed? That was
Yeah.
disappointed?
With
yeah,
a
but also, I didn't want to have to break in new characters. So,
yeah, if that bitch has a plus 17 to hit, AC tanks don't mean shit.
Yeah. Alright.
You gotta have some health tanks in this bitch because you're not gonna block any attacks.
We got none of that shit.
nope. But I hope you found the Grinkin Eye quite entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Insightful,
And-
even.
Illuminating.
Mm.
So we learned something about Tyx today.
You
Yeah.
did. You did.
I
Brad was
guess
like, he seems like he seems like an up and up guy, and I'm like, I'm doing this wrong. He just
Yeah,
seems
right.
menacing.
I was like, thank.
Good old
Give
Tyx.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't think it was bad.
It's the
Yeah,
lad's
speaking of, I
lad.
guess. Yeah. Are we gonna handle Tyx? Do we care about the little beef? I mean,
I'll talk about that next time.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a thing that's gonna have to wait till for us to get to the ship because we got to go through a swamp first.
Yep.
Classic.
Yes, you do. And, I just want you to know that D100 that you rolled really low was what prevented you from having a combat encounter this session.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. If it was above a 50, you would have had a combat encounter, but it was below.
Nice.
Maybe on the way back to the ship, we pick up the crying guy and just put him on the ship with Tyx and Kotom. Just let him hang out.
Nah,
You just start collecting people.
No. This isn't fucking what's it called? Tales of Yavenna. And we're not collecting people.
I mean, maybe.
Every day,
so
have you heard the tale of my folly?
yes. Okay, so we've had the 11 o'clock, the 10 p.m. Yeah, the 11 o'clock update on the hurricane. Would you all like to know?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Is it hitting you?
Fine.
Oh,
Things are gonna be
yeah,
okay.
it's going. I mean, I'm probably going to be okay, but it's going directly through the center of the state.
Oh.
Oh.
Fuck.
You
What's
see
the-
where that H is in the middle of the state? That's about where Orlando is.
What's going to happen to Disney World?
Oh no, not Disney.
You know what? They announced that they were closing, which is you know how they say it's really bad when Waffle House closes? Like the one step below that is when Disney closes.
Oh.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was real
Yeah.
serious.
This one Disney.
Yeah. So let's see what the updated time of arrival is for moi. 7 a.m. Thursday is when it should be about here.
Oh, you're gonna be woken up to a hurricane at 7 in the morning?
It's not the first time that's happened. Honestly, I prefer it when they come through at night because then I can just sleep through most of it.
Fair.
And you don't need electricity.
I don't need electricity to sleep. No. It'll probably be like a 2, maybe a 1.5 when it comes through here. So probably the worst that would happen is I lose power or a tree falls on my car.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So the 1 and 2 once it reaches you is fine, but right now it's a 5.
Correct. Yes. And my mom lives on the coast.
Well, yeah.
So in a place that's maybe they've updated the storm surge warning. Let's see. I'm doing this like I'm not sitting at my computer. At peak surge. Come here, you. Oh no. Yep. Yeah, Charlotte Harbor is still at 8 to 12 feet. Tampa Bay is 10 to 15 currently.
10 to 15.
You know what? Fuck Tampa.
So
I mean,
I
fair.
have a couple of friends who just moved to Tampa Bay, like
Oh.
just like a couple days ago. Like
Oh
no.
no. Oh
so
no.
they were when the
Oh.
hurricane was hitting, they were en route with their U-Haul, and now the second hurricane's here, and they're in the middle of moving it.
Oh,
Like they
Put
just
it back
moved
in the
in.
U-Haul. Put it back in the U-Haul and just leave.
Yeah. Just turn around. You turn that
They live
U-Haul.
on the bay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. They're renting, right? They didn't like buy a house.
It's an apartment,
Okay.
yeah.
no,
Okay.
thank goodness.
Because like
That'd be awkward.
that shit's gonna get wiped off the fucking map.
Put back in the U-Haul and leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd pack all that shit in a pod and I'd be like, ship this shit to like fucking Illinois right now.
I checked on them earlier. They said that they prepped the apartment. I don't know what
They
that
didn't
means.
fucking leave.
No, they did leave, but they like prepped the
Okay.
apartment to like prevent flood damage as much as they can.
Which probably means they put a tarp and sandbags at the front door.
They put sandbags, yeah. They just texted me this afternoon saying that they got to Orlando and they're staying in a hotel there.
They
Oh.
well, that's a choice. That's a choice that
They could have gotten out of the range of the hurricane, but they just
Right.
stayed in the range.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
maybe-
like, wow. Is this their first hurricane also?
They're from Texas.
What?
So, yeah.
Hurricanes hit Texas sometimes.
Not San Antonio.
Well, I didn't. How am I supposed to know where the fuck these people I've never met are from?
This is a good way to inoculate themselves with hurricanes. It's just like
Or-
they're living in Florida. They got to get used to this.
or PTSD, honestly.
Just full
Yeah.
dive in. Yeah, San Antonio is a safe haven from natural disasters. Like nothing happens here ever.
Yeah.
We get tornado warnings, but it's never or a tornado watch, but there's never a tornado.
I could have sworn we're right next to a fault line.
I'm in
Julian's
the
got
process
it.
of slowly lowering the temperature in my apartment so that when the power goes out, I'm not immediately miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some sleeping now because I'm passing out.
Good night.
Yes, same.
Well, on the back of again,
Yeah, I'll let you know that I don't die.
the new, what is it, the train or whatever, the track, next time you could just escape here.
Yeah, exactly.
Escape.
There's gonna be there's gonna be a train route from Orlando to Chicago.
I was very surprised by that. I was like, it seems far, but hey, that seems cool.
Yeah, I was like, dope. It's like 2 days on the train. So,
Well, fun adventure.
all right.
Good
night,
night,
y'all.
everyone.
Right.
Peace.